Ever feel like you're dreaming day and night about starting your own business, but no matter how much you want it, something just keeps holding you back? I used to too. And today we're going to explore the most common mental traps that stop aspiring entrepreneurs from ever getting started. Overthinking, indecision, and analysis paralysis from information overload, probably. These are the very things that can keep aspiring entrepreneurs stuck in that aspiring stage, potentially forever, and can stop you from moving into action and moving into that successful and fulfilling stage of entrepreneurship. I'll also be sharing what you need to do to break free from these traps and to make taking that first step towards starting your business feel easy. It's Mary Kate here from The Freedom You Deserve. Each week I share lessons I learned from mistakes I made over 10 years of building my confidence to finally start my first business so that you can learn faster and create a balanced life that's exciting, meaningful, and more authentically you. So let's dive into what really holds many aspiring entrepreneurs back. One of the biggest hurdles is overthinking, and it can be a really hard habit to break. Overthinking is when you get caught up in constantly analyzing every detail, every possibility, every possible outcome. It's when your mind goes into overdrive, trying to predict all of the what ifs and cover every possible angle, every possible scenario. You might find yourself stuck in a loop of thinking and rethinking the same ideas or the same decisions, which can feel like you're making progress in preparing for your business, getting things straight in your head, trying to see the full picture. But in reality, you're probably not getting anywhere and you're just exhausting yourself while you're delaying starting. Overthinking often comes from a place of fear. Fear of failure, fear of making the wrong choice, fear of change, fear of the unknown. Overthinking keeps us stuck even longer though, because you get so caught up in the what ifs that you never take that first crucial step. And you can't gain the experience that you need to answer your questions from just thinking about them. Closely related to overthinking is indecision. With so many options and paths that you could take, it's easy to get stuck in the loop of what should I do? You might even find yourself seeking advice from others about this, which can make indecision a whole lot worse because everyone has a different opinion, and you can find yourself even more unsure of what the best decision is for you. You might worry about choosing the wrong niche or market or the wrong product, the wrong time to start, or whether you should start as a side hustle or full on quit your job and go all in. Indecision can be paralyzing, but it can also be expensive. It leads to missed opportunities and months or even years of sitting on the fence instead of diving into action and seeing some results. Have you ever considered the cost of inaction? It took me years to start my first business, and I don't want that for you, which is why this channel exists. Because if it did take you years, what would that cost you? A decade of freedom? The 5x, 10x income you'll never see in the job that you're in now? The pride and fulfillment of being your own boss? We often are indecisive because we're saving money or avoiding risk, but indecision is a huge factor in the cost of inaction. Now, let's talk about analysis paralysis, something that goes hand in hand with perfectionism. While overthinking is constantly running through the possibilities in your mind, analysis paralysis is when you become so focused on making the perfect decision that you end up making no decision at all. It's that feeling of being frozen because you're obsessing over every tiny detail, fearing that if you don't get it exactly right, everything will fall apart. You might tell yourself, I'll start when I have everything perfectly planned out, or I need to learn one more thing before I can begin. The truth is, perfectionism is just another form of procrastination. This obsession with perfection can lead to endless cycles of research, planning, refining, and ultimately you end up in information overload without ever really moving into action. If you get caught up in the idea that everything has to be flawless before you can move forward, it will only keep you stuck exactly where you are, aspiring, but never really achieving. To recap, before I move on to how you can break free from these procrastination traps, overthinking is where you get trapped in endless loops of analysing every detail, every possible outcome, every angle, which only serves to delay action. Indecision is feeling overwhelmed by your choices and unsure of which path to take, which often leads to missed opportunities and inaction. And analysis paralysis is where you're so focused on making the perfect decision that you end up making no decision at all. Now, I know it might feel overwhelming to even think about overcoming these behaviors, or frustrating to be stuck in one of these loops. But the good news is that when you look in the right places, the penny eventually drops. And as soon as that penny drops, you can see it playing out in real time, and you can stop yourself from going there. You get control back. When I was trying to start my business, I was doing all of these things to some extent, and maybe you are too. Mostly though, I was completely overwhelmed with all of the information and options that I had, and I was solidly stuck in analysis paralysis. I thought that there was a perfect business idea that I still needed to find or think of, and I searched and searched and searched for it. I had no idea that the constant searching was feeding my overwhelm and keeping me stuck and so incredibly frustrated. Somewhere along the way, over the last 10 years, the penny dropped for me, and it changed everything I thought I knew about starting a business. You see, the common thread between overthinking, indecision, and analysis paralysis is low self-trust. When you don't trust yourself to be able to handle anything, then everything feels hard. Making decisions feels overwhelming, and stepping forward in any direction feels uncertain and scary. If you're really serious about starting your own business and taking back control of your life, learning to trust yourself again is very important. It's the most important thing, truly. Self-trust allows you to break free from these procrastination traps, and making decisions actually becomes easy. When you're no longer caught up in that fear of making a mistake or the need to have everything figured out perfectly, you can move forward confidently, knowing that the choices you are making are the right choices for you. Better yet, when you have a clear direction that's authentic to who you truly are and the kind of life that you really want to create, you can align your decisions with your true desires and with that vision for your perfect life. And you can stop overthinking and feeling scared and feeling stuck. Imagine what it would be like to trust yourself completely. How much easier and how much more exciting would starting your business be? How does it feel for you right now? Does it feel relieving or exciting? Starting your own business doesn't have to feel like the hardest thing ever. But logic and being rational only gets you so far. As you already know if you've been in this loop for a while. You know in your heart what the right choices are for you. It's about learning to tune into that inner compass and trusting yourself to take the next step. That's why I created a brand new program designed to help you develop that deep, unshakable self-trust so that you can avoid these traps and feel confident instead about starting a first business that's actually aligned with the future you want to create, not just a financial alternative to a job. By trusting yourself, you'll find that the path forward becomes clearer and taking action feels not only possible, but exciting. If you want to know more about this program and be first to know when the doors open, you can find the link to join the Priority VIP waitlist in the description below. This is how you step out of the endless cycle of overthinking, indecision, and analysis paralysis, and into confidently creating the freedom, excitement, and fulfillment of running your own successful business. Please make sure to like this video before you go and subscribe to the channel for more on helping you to build that confidence and start your first business. I'll see you over on the waitlist, and I'll be back next week with another episode.